This is TWiT.
But I did want to talk just for a second about one of the researchers at Data and Society did this really cool project in 2013 where he target marketed Shaquille O'Neal specifically with a piece of artwork. And they were using, so they were calling it like this artisanal data mining project, and they had identified all of these.
I would think it'd be impossible because that's as an individual as opposed to geofencing. So I want to hear about this. That's interesting.
Yeah, so there's an article on Gizmodo called Bizarre New Art Project Stalks Shaquille O'Neal for Custom Dunk Rig. And so the idea behind it, and the artist is a researcher named Matt Gertzen at Data and Society. And so the idea was a bit of a lark, right? But they were like, if we can learn enough about Shaquille O'Neal, can we target market him and then from proof of concept, sell this notion of data mining? And, you know, one of the things that we think about at Data and Society related to art is really about how these targeted art projects or these kind of like ambitious art projects that try to do one thing really well open up for us another way of thinking about technology. And so one of the things that Matt is very, very good at is thinking about, well, what is the constellation of things that we need to know about a person, place, or thing in order to grab the kind of keywords and to make the, in order to get to the bottom of stuff. And so, yeah, it was a beautiful project. Unfortunately, Shaquille O'Neal didn't, come to them to buy this.
It didn't work.
It didn't work, but
Well, this would have been a lot more interesting if it had worked.
Well,
okay, so a couple of problems here. First of all, the reason they target Shaq is because he's a sitting duck.
Exactly.
He's, unlike you and me, Stacey and Joan, he's got, maybe me, but I mean, you could target Shaq because he's so public about everything. He's an avowed narcissist was one of the reasons. So they actually identified keywords. They bought this phrase Shaq is the best because it had a low search volume, probably most likely Shaq himself. So, I mean, this is something highly targeted and it didn't work. Or maybe Shaq was immune.
Or maybe he wasn't interested in the art once he saw it. But the point was, this is 2013, right? And we have artists showing us the
I'm glad they said it was an art project anyway.
Yeah, and how AdSense could be used. And I had remembered reading maybe a year and a half ago a 2600 magazine excerpt about someone that was targeting police departments with geofence data and advertising and trying to influence the kinds of advertising that police officers saw when they searched for things online. And so there are other kinds of targets that we might think about in terms of the way that this might play out, whether it's highly targeted marketing to certain celebrities in order to gain attention, or, government buildings. I even heard, I don't know if it's true, I can't substantiate this, but I heard that someone had been targeting Donald Trump's set of phones because he uses a very particular older model Android phone when he's tweeting. And so they were using that kind of data to target market to that very specific level of the phone itself.
Well, he's almost certainly by now been hacked because he insists on using two older phones that are not secured in the White House. And we talked last week about how many stingrays there are in the D.C. area.
Oh, goodness.
So it would be an easy thing to hack him. I will give you, Stacey, that everyone should have the right to turn off that location information and to say, don't follow me. And I think for the most part you do. In most phones you can say, don't track me to almost everything.
Yes,
right?
But you're giving up services like maps. I mean, if I want to know where I am in a city, I have to actually
that's a good
share
point.
this.
Can I point out, the Maps is a fabulous free product. And what you're saying is I want it, but I don't want to pay for it.
I would pay for it. I would pay for always-on access to Google Maps and directions.
Okay.
Easily.
I mean, and that's the argument with Facebook, too, is that Facebook could offer an ad-free, location-free experience if they charged you. There's There's a couple of problems. One, it's anti-democratic. You'd have to be able to afford to spend hundreds of dollars a month on a variety of services that you get for free now. The other is that none of these services are built on that model, and that's maybe not as easy to do as it sounds, to say, well, okay, well, let's put up a paywall. There's another problem, which is it's not just Google and Facebook. AT&T and Verizon both want to set up
everybody's
networks.
getting in on this. And I would also say let's also expose like the fact that we are being tracked. Those, like, I could afford to pay for all of this. Thus, I am probably a more attractive target for a lot of ads. Whereas someone who can't afford to pay for it probably is a less attractive target for certain ads. Not all ads, but so that's I don't know. It's like the insurance model meets the ad networks. It's gross. Gross. Mm-hmm. So, okay.
Mm-hmm.
So, all right, I will grant you. I think that would be a good goal, is to have both disclosure and control, and that's, I think, GDPR's mission as well. I worry about unintended consequences. As I said, we're already seeing a huge drop in ad sales.
We can fix unintended consequences if we decide we don't like them. This is the same argument that people had in the U.S. about like healthcare, right? And now people are like, oh, wait, that was actually okay. We probably could fix a lot of things that weren't right about it.
Right.
But, there's a whole entrenched lobby of people who pay to make sure that we don't think about this stuff.
Right.
So, sorry.
Good.
Okay. Are you yawning? Wait.
No, I'm agreeing with you.
No.
Oh, I was like, how good is this coffee?
I needed some oxygen. I just need a little oxygen. That's all.